On we go with Morning Toll. This is the big part. Now, the Trust has been rather busy this week. It's always busy. But we've been setting up the new system in relation to the banks in particular. Not only the banks, but this is the focus over the past week or so. The transfer, the blocking of the transfers, and the implications of doing such going forward. They went about dealing with the issues created from the old system of mirrored accounts and black screens, backdoors and dodgy codes that were all in the old system. And so what was done this week is all those backdoors, screens and mirrored accounts were all deleted, with a difference this time, and new firewalls were created both inside the banks and also outside the banks to prevent further intrusions to banks and people's accounts. Stopped altogether. So they duplicated the back system's high-tech firewalls, which also apply to the data cable systems worldwide. Yes, I can hear you. I know you're trying to ping the show. SWIFT, wires, IBAN, EFT and ACH all now fall under the new firewall systems, both from the inside and also, as I said, on the outside. Totally blocked from intrusion. The new firewall systems registers the bank officer who is trying to do the input, and if fraudulent, then their user ID is blocked permanently and a report goes to the agency. In America, it goes to the FBI for embezzlement. And if there are arrests to occur, it is on that particular agency to do so. So for the daughter of the JP Morgan associate, oops. Furthermore, this new firewall also prevents any external hacking and any fake mirror systems of the Cabal. It's getting to be very transparent out there. So no more fake mirrors, no more of the fake SKRs that they've tried to install in the system. And the firewall system also has a mapping system, which we may cover in greater detail in a future show. And the mapping system appears to be a lot of fun for those who like to do research on rogue elements. Oops. So what happens now, so in order to freeze an account, which is they've been doing freely to many people that they don't particularly like or don't want to advance forward, or to wire transfer the bank officer or government official must have a valid case number to do so. So they can't just go in with rogue FBI, as has been the case recently, with fake badges that were issued by bad elements in the Department of Homeland Security as favours, as I understand it. They must have a valid case number, so it has to be registered for them to then go into the bank and attempt to freeze the account. Now, this case number is cross-referenced with the agency and or police systems, and if the badge, agent or case number is found invalid, then the system will automatically, without the bank's input, reject it. In other words, they will not be allowed to freeze an account just because they don't like somebody. So there'll be no more blocking of individuals that are not in alignment with the elites or the elites. And in the past, this has run rampant globally, as in just the last month, they threatened Mr. Trump, stating they would take all of his assets. Well, Trump's a fairly wealthy man, and they threatened to take all his assets. This type of blackmail is a constant with the factions against politicians in particular. You know, I know many of us don't like politicians, but they are under heavy threats and have been, or of course it's increased now, because some of them have found out the truth and want to help. In fact, there's quite a few who want to help, but the threats against them by the factions is fairly heavy and severe, as I understand it. But the stealing of assets under blackmail and threat will now no longer be possible under the new system. So the gist of this is, if you block any transfers of funds, your login is registered and recorded by the system, and you will face the consequences of such actions. No longer can they hide behind the firewalls and the mirrored screens to play dirty on the financial system. Wells Fargo, which is still under review by the American government, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citibank and others tried not to allow the new internal firewall system and tried to work in manual mode, and this took their systems offline altogether. You interfere and your whole system goes off. Love it. But this particular act was deliberate to stop the new firewall being installed. Unfortunately for them, and happily for us, the firewall had already been installed and forced resets of their systems. And so they've got it whether they like it or not. These were taking place today and tomorrow for those main four and the others. And it was announced an hour before the show that the JP Morgan system was completed and is now under the new firewall system and can't be interfered with. Oops. Last piece. For good cyber protection, Manor World Holding Trust has been awarded full protection under the Department of Homeland Security Safety Act. This is bigger than people may initially realise. One of the issues Kim and her team have been working on is the safety of the people receiving the funds for projects. The clowns have threatened all kinds of blackmail and what they're going to do, ranging from details to do with the IRS to arresting people for using what they call stolen funds. Oh, the irony. No, the funds belongs to the people, not you. You've been using stolen funds for thousands of years. So the usual fear porn rhetoric they use to put people off going ahead. Well, with this particular Safety Act, it extends to any of its project owners using the firewall protection of the trust. So the trust will then protect any of the project owners, which one would be myself. Tank is probably another one, and any of the other bigger projects, whether it's the rail or some of the other things that are planning in the works. Those people will all become under the protection of the Homeland Security Safety Act. You can't meddle with them.